Hey guys, how you doing? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So I just wanted to make a quick video on kind of just a recap on Thursday. So today was our first day back in school, so we're at ASU Polytechnic. But we had members all over the United States kind of just trading today. Pretty much I just want to do a little recap. Tomorrow's the last day of the trading week. As you know, the trading week or the stock market is only open Monday through Friday for our common shareholders. So pretty much I just wanted to make sure that we have a better understanding of how we're going to end the week and make sure we end the week strong. So kind of want to just talk about, the 3 rules again. So one rule, only trade stocks that have, 10% potential. Second rule, to not hold overnight if it is a penny stock. And third rule, make sure that you set your stop loss, which means that you sell at a certain point to kind of cut your gains or cut your losses. So I'm going to do a little recap about stocks. I have a good amount of them that I'm going to talk about very quickly, and just so you have a better understanding of if it's a good buy-in, or you can do your own analysis. So we're going to start off with Rex. Rex tends to trade above 55 cents overall. So if we go year to date, the lowest point it's hit is 55 cents, or 54 cents essentially, and it hit 54 cents I think about a week ago. And yeah, I thought about that too about a week ago. Alright, sorry, that was stupid. Alright, so there's my graph again. This is pretty much my technical analysis. These little points are considered really good buy-ins. That is essentially where I would say, that is, since you only want to trade stocks that have 10% potential, these would be considered, like great buy-ins in the sense of, if that's the lowest point they tend to hit that point and pick back up. And they usually stay above 56 cents. But, every so often it does hit 55, and that is where you want to get in. That is, you're that 1% trader that buys in at that amount. And, this one is a penny stock, so I suggest not holding overnight, but you could just see the possible growth. So, trading at, possible 10% growth, buying in at 55 cents. You could sell at 60, which, it can do within a day. And with that, lock in your gains and you're fine with that. Or if you want to be a little bit more risky, you're not going to be going by the rules anymore, but you could hit that 66 cent. And if you see just on a 1 month analysis, it doesn't tend to hit this area very often. So we like to call this level 1, level 2, and level 3. It's kind of just the areas of where it's trading. Right now, last week it was trading around level 1, went to level 2, went to level 3 real quick, and then probably going to come back to level 2. And then, a good area to buy in again is the low points of level 1, which is around 55 to 56 cents. So that is my analysis on Rex. If you guys want, go ahead and add that one to your watch list and, set the alerts according to that. ONTX is a huge one. That one of our members introduced today, so his name was Jetson. Pretty much, year to date, it did trade. It fluctuates a lot, and that's what we want when we want to trade. When we're day traders, we want to see that early or that quick buy-in and sell point. So with that being said, we have a little safety net around 324. Right now, it's trading. It hit highs of I believe 413 today. And then ended up having, that huge drop to its old resistance level. So it used to trade between 324 to 345, bouncing between there. So like we know, old resistance levels become new safety nets, as that is where it stopped. So this is level 2 trading area. This is level 1. I'd say, be patient, be disciplined, wait for that level 1 area. Buying at the low point around 325 to 330, and then ride that sucker up, lock in your 10%, and continue growing your account. So I'd set my alerts when to go sub 345, just so you're back in the game in level 1. Or if you catch it and you see upward momentum at 345, this is a safety net, so it could just catch in just like this, and you can ride it from 345 to 375. Lock in your 30-cent gain, which is essentially 10% for this, and lock in your gains that way. Just make sure you're disciplined, make sure you stick to the rules, make sure that you trade based on your own analysis. I don't care who tells you. You should not be trading on anyone else's, just opinion, no matter how professional or how educated they are. I'm kind of just here to, share what I've learned and kind of do my own little analysis, just so you guys can figure out, how you guys can, just discover stocks and know how to analyze them as good stocks and bad stocks, and good points to buy in and bad points to buy in. That's the whole point of TechBuds. I'm not here to suggest any type of stocks whatsoever, because it's your money that you're going to be messing around with, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So SKLN has been trading within the past month. It used to trade above 10%, broke that safety net. I talked to the team about that. I believe that it's going to break it. Ended up breaking it, and just when it broke, that was a critical point at 11 cents. Just had that huge spike down, hit lows of 8. And this is just something new that I've been trying to get into, kind of just about the slope and stuff. But it went back, hit the resistance level. So just like we say, old safety nets become new resistance levels. Yep, coming back down. So what we're going to wait is if we see upward momentum as it gets, we're kind of seeing upward momentum right here as it stays above 9. But if we see it stay above 8, then that's also another opportunity that we can take a look at. So just keep an eye out for SKLN if it tends to go sub 9. Alright, and then this one's going to be ATEC. I would consider ATEC a good buy-in just based on its safety net right above, 19 cents. Right now it's in level 2 trading area, so this is level 1. So pretty much what I'd say is keep an eye out. I really do believe it's going to break this little safety net it has right now above 30 cents. And once it does break that, it's going to be bleeding down, just like it does in history. And overall, just make sure you see upward momentum, that it doesn't continue to bleed down. And yeah, that's my analysis on ATEC. TBRA has, a pretty, high momentum. I'd say a better buy-in for this. Be patient, wait till it goes below $4. But just if you want to screenshot these little areas and find the critical points, as this is level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Right now it's trading around level 3. Wait till it starts bleeding back down, because this is the high point of level 3. And you want to make sure you don't buy at high points. So if you want to buy in at level 3, just make sure you buy it at the low points and ride it back up. That's my analysis on TBRA. So I'm just going to go pretty quickly through these. Then Aztec is one that I was trading today. I bought in at 138, I believe, and then I sold at 140. I apologize. I bought in at 148, and then I sold at 154 today. And that was not my 10%. I saw that there was a potential breaking point there, that it had momentum to drop, so I just cut my losses. I ended up making a little bit of money, so I just wanted to secure my gains. I thought it had 10% potential, based on my analysis I made, buying in at that 150 mark, and I thought it was going to continue coming back up to 180. Obviously, I'm not always correct, but at least I cut my gains, I secured my gains, and now we can watch it kind of bleed down to the $1 mark. And, that being an old safety net year to date, we'll ride it back up as long as we see upward momentum. So I'd put this on the watch list as well. INVT is probably the one that I really want to talk to you guys about today. So I didn't refresh this just so you guys can see the huge spike it has. So we consider, 130 to 135 as great buy-ins. Yesterday, it closed at 141. That was the lowest point I believe it got to. And today, now that I refresh it, it's going to hit highs of, I believe, let's see, I actually need to change the frequency. Yeah. Yep. Hit highs of almost $2 today. So, you can never really predict this. I actually have a member, his name's Anthony, that I kind of chose him to just keep an eye on the stock. He's not trading yet, and he was like, whoa, like, how do you predict this? It's really, sometimes it's just pump and dumps, and based on the history of INVT, those pumps never really hold. Spike up, bleed back down, spike up, bleed back down, spike up, bleed back down. Same as it did today, spike up, bleed back down. We have to stay disciplined, make sure we catch it at those good points, which are the areas that we're used to, the areas that we know we'll make profit in. And that's really just it. So I'd still wait. It was bleeding down, so it caught up, started bleeding back down again. It's going to come back to, its old trading area, and we just really have to wait for that. Once we can get back in action of our comfort area of buying around 130, 135, make sure we see upward momentum and then ride it up, lock in our gains, and, we're day traders. Let's continue to do that. STEM is one that was most likely a pump and dump. It's it's under review for a pump and dump scheme. And that's pretty much what's leading down to this downward spike. You could tell there's a slight safety net, as it picked up, and then resistance right here. Safety net again, it kind of stayed stagnant throughout the day. I really do believe it's going to go back to its old trading area of below 41 cents. And that's my analysis for STEM, but, just keep an eye on this one, and we'll follow up with this one overall. Meat is one that I do believe that does have a lot of upward momentum just based on its history. Other than that, just keep an eye on meat. It's, I would say, a better buy in area is above 460. And with that being said, you can ride from 460 as it touched one day and then ended up, closing around the 520 mark. So it made up its losses within one day. So this is a pretty strong safety net, and it's trying to hold above $5. So we'll just do a follow up with meat. GEVO, I mean, it tends to have a strong safety around 49 cents, resistance levels around 55. So right now it's at the high points of its, resistance levels. We could still hit that 10% as long as we buy in at the low points around the 49-cent mark. Make sure you do your own analysis year to date. It's kind of mid-range, so make sure this is definitely going to be a day trade. You don't want to hold overnight. CIE is one that had a huge spike today. We were trading this about a week ago. Again, funny. Safety net was around above 80 cents. I bought it at 84, and within one day it closed, and we hit 97. Made a little bit more than my 10% there, and this was a critical point. It had a huge spike down, and what that means is there's these just huge areas of no resistance, no safety nets. That's kind of, just because it had that huge spike down. What that means is once it breaks that point, it tends to have huge spikes up. And this is, a shout out to Ishmael. He was asking me, how do you predict this? There's not necessarily a prediction method. It's pretty much you go based on history. If you see that there's this is like the unknown area, that means that, it's not going to just start staircasing like it does here all the way up to 130. Based on it having like a huge drop, investors see this, as huge upward potential, and that's essentially what it did. Once it passed this point of 110, that was a critical point, broke it, and went back to its old trading area above 130. So we'll see if it holds. If it does, then we can continue trading above 130. If not, then most likely we're going to see a huge, just bleed back down, and we can go from there. So I'd say, just keep an eye on this and just add it to your watch list. PLM, Gale, and then TRKK. TRKK is a true penny stock. The reason I want to talk about this one is because it has a really strong safety net around 45 cents. And this is very easy to make your money in, but again, only make sure that's very low volume. So make sure that whatever you're trading with, if you just want to, kind of test the waters, you can start with 10, $100, whatever it is that you want to do. This is not able to be traded through Robinhood. That's the only thing. You have to use a different brokerage company. So I use Fidelity for this one itself when I do tend to trade it. So it would be a quick 10%. You just have to buy at 45, sell at 55, and it tends to bounce around, quite often. But make sure you do your own analysis and kind of do your own judgment on that. So I do want to give a good shout out to a couple traders that profited today. So let's see if this loads. Let's see. Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to Jetson for always, bringing in his gain to a little bit under $2,000. A couple of our new traders, Skylar locked in his gains. Michael, I think evened out today. David, one of our newer traders, made a little bit over $200, as you could see. And there were a couple people that, set their stop losses and, at least got out. So, stay disciplined. But overall, it was an overall green day for those that held, after hours. Hopefully you can still secure your gains. And yeah, so hopefully this video helps you guys out. Please feel free to reach out to me if you guys have any questions. Just wanted to do a follow-up and make sure that we end the week strong. So make sure you, again, stick to the 3 rules, stay disciplined, stick according to the rules, and that will most likely lead to your success. So happy trading and good luck tomorrow, guys.